Scientists have developed a doom calculator that can predict when you'll die and how much money you'll earn with 78% accuracy. This is by Peter Hess for the Daily Mail. It came out yesterday, late afternoon, and I thought, holy crap, here we go. 1984 is on its way to us. I'm Nikki. Welcome back to Off Grid Style. Let's find out what this is about. Scientists have developed an algorithm that uses the story of a person's life to predict how they will live and when they will die. According to this study, the model, called Life-to-Vec, is accurate about 78% of the time, which puts it on par with other algorithms that have been used to predict similar life outcomes. But unlike other models, it works like a chatbot, using details that people give it to predict what comes next. It was built by scientists in Denmark with the U.S.'s help, who trained a machine learning algorithm on a massive pool of Danish data, feeding it all sorts of information on over 6 million real people, including their income, their profession, their place of residence, injuries, pregnancy history, and a whole bunch more stuff. Their end result was a model that can process plain language and generate predictions about a person's likelihood of dying early or their income over their lifespan. Some of the factors that can lead to an earlier death include being male, sorry about that, having a mental health diagnosis, or being in a skilled profession. Things that linked to longer life included higher income or being in a leadership role. Before I forget, if you like this video, please hit the like button so it will be pushed out to more people. And give the video a ranking. I'm curious to know what you think of this content that I'm giving you and how interesting it is to you. 1 to 10, 10 being the best, and how you like the video, and share with me your comments, obviously, as always. Let's get back. Considering each part of your life as if they were written words in a sentence, Life-to-Vec predicts where the story will go based on what has been written so far. Just like ChatGPT you can ask it to write a song, a poem, or an essay, scientists can ask Life-to-Vec simple questions like, will this person die within 4 years? And the results are amazing. The model was trained on data that was used from 2008 to 2016. Based on their population data, it correctly predicted who had died by 2020 more than 3/4 of the time. To protect the personal information of the people whose data were used to train the system, though, it is not available for the generic public or companies to use, the lead researcher told dailymail.com. And a quote from the professor of networks and complex systems at Tech University of Denmark said, "We are actively working on ways to share some of the results more openly, but this requires further research to be done in a way that can guarantee the privacy of the people in the study." Even when the model is finally available to the public, Danish privacy laws would make it illegal to use Life-to-Vec to make decisions about individuals, like, for instance, writing insurance policies or making hiring decisions. But the question I have is, do other countries have this same type of law in place? That would be something I would be wondering about. In much the same way that ChatGPT and other large language models have been trained on troves of existing information and written works, Life-to-Vec was taught by data from people's lives, written out as a series of data-rich sentences. As an example, it might include things like, in September 2012, Francisco received 20,000 Danish kroner as a guard at a castle in Elsinore. Or during her 3rd year of secondary boarding school, Hermione followed 5 elective classes. So it's basic informational sentences. Layman and his team assigned different tokens to each piece of information, and these pieces of data were all mapped out in relation to each other. And I'm sharing some of those with you throughout this video of from the actual study itself because I was able to find it. It was published just a couple weeks ago, and I'm showing you, how that data was mapped out, if you will. Categories in people's life included human experiences, a forearm fracture, working where you worked at, like a tobacco shop or a grocery store, how much income you made that's 100 different little mapping points on income alone. Even birth complications were thrown into the equations. But what Life2Vec does is map that huge amount of factors that make up an individual's life, allowing someone to ask it to make a prediction based on millions of other people and many, many factors. It can also make predictions about people's personalities. To do this, Lehman and his team trained this model to predict people's answers to questions on a personality test. The test asked people to rate 10 items based on how much they agree or disagree. Like, the first thing I always do in a new place is make friends, or I rarely express my opinions in group meetings. It is important to note, Lehman said, that the data was all from Denmark. So these predictions may not hold true for people living in other places, at least in this data model with AI. Doesn't mean there aren't other data models out there, which I'm going to mention in a second. Besides the fact that most people probably don't actually want to know when they will die. I was thinking about this. I'm not sure if I would or not. Would you? Let me know. Anyway, the model opens up important positive and negative perspectives to discuss and address politically. Similar technologies for predicting life events and human behavior are already being used today inside tech companies that, for example, track our behavior on social networks, profile us extremely accurately, and use these profiles to predict our behavior and to influence us. That goes on every single day. All you have to do is talk about, oh, I'm really interested in a chainsaw, and next thing you know, you see 50 million ads for a chainsaw. Somebody somewhere's listening. That's why I unplugged everything in my house that could listen to me. Anyway, this discussion, Lehman said, needs to be part of a democratic conversation so that we consider where technology is taking us and whether this is a development we want. So my first thought was, these scientists state that this program will not be used in any public way to determine life expectancy for jobs, for insurance, or anything like that by their country anyway. And of course, we know that our government has always been above board and never done anything covert or under the radar that people don't know about for 50 years. Like nuclear technology, it was initially developed for energy production. The internet, which was initially created for communication and information sharing, has obviously been exploited and gone to a whole new level and realm of activities, a lot of them malicious. Is this just another step on the road to 1984 in real life, where Big Brother knows what you are doing and what you are even thinking before you think it? What do you think? Let me know. You know I want to hear from you, as always. Don't forget to like this video, please. It pushes it out to more people. Comment on your thoughts. Check out our community page because we do daily quizzes. I do daily quizzes. I always say we, and I apologize for that. I do daily quizzes. I post infographics, which are really cool for survival. I post funny stuff, all kinds of different things. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.